I'm gonna have to edit that out. What's going on, YouTube? This is Squids. Don't mind the laughter. Just just the usual conversation. We're back today to tackle that second half of the second series, and this one is definitely a beast, if you will, per se. Probably it's hard to say, but I think this might be my favorite half of the other, one or two arcs, but we'll get more into that later. And with me, as always, the Virgin himself, the Doki Doki man.
Doki Doki Etchy Man. I think that's gonna be the permanent staple name, guys. I think it's gonna be. I might not be an enigma anymore, but I will still say some wild shit. I'll say what we're all thinking, but are too ashamed to say.
You're no longer an enigma. That's a shame. But you know,
I could start doing fucking like riddles and shit, like the Riddler, and become an enigma again.
oh, I'd rather we didn't do that.
Damn it! I had a really good one, and I'm not lying about that at all.
It's fair, but eh. So, what were your general views of this second half here before we start really talking about it?
I have to go upstairs real quick, so this was an interesting one for me. This is an interesting one for me because I really did like Sengoku, but she is kind of like our villain for this arc for the most part. Did not see that coming. I mean, fucking her closet is just tragic. But otherwise, like, again, it had the same visual appeal as the first half of the second part of the series. So again, just visually astonishing. Very much a combination of minimalism with that realism that they kind of push the abstract. It's all good. It's all Gucci. I will say I'm not sure if I like this better than the first half. There are some stuff about it that I did like more than the first half, but there's also some stuff in the first half that I liked a little bit more than this. Like there's no post-apocalyptic Hachikuji waifu. Like that's a big negative for me.
Yeah,
Big negative.
adult Hachikuji's your bread and butter.
It's post-apocalyptic Hachikuji because like that was the hell of a fucking surprise because it was just like reaching back to that last arc. It was like, you get this post-apocalyptic waifu and then all of a sudden she's like, I'm Hachikuji. And it's like, what Hachikuji?
She's
Araragi, how are you not fondling her? Is it because she's of age now?
well, who's to say? That's just something I think that he's just I have no defense for him actually.
There is no defense. That it's like you want to love Hachikuji, but at the same time, not Hachikuji, because we all love Hachikuji, but you want to love Aragi, but at the same time, you feel guilty for liking him at all.
Yeah, he's that one friend that you can't really defend, no matter what you do. You could try
Exactly,
to,
but you're like, I'll keep you around.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, well, that's interesting to hear. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's really hard to say because this is a really good season in general. But I can't decide which one's necessarily my favorite, but I think I lean towards the second half more than the first half just because of how badass it is. But
Although up to this point, because I know we change theme songs every arc.
yep,
This theme song for this arc we're starting was actually my favorite theme song, which is why I decided to start calling myself Doki Doki Etchy Man because um, let's break some magic right now. So I have the Monogatari watch order picture on my phone and all that stuff, and it told me to watch episode 1 through 11, 1 through 12. Yeah, 1 through 11.
Yep.
For the first half. But I didn't realize that like 10 and 11 in the original airing were recap episodes. So I actually watched the first 2 episodes of this arc before I was supposed to. So I was really confused when I jumped into Hana Monogatari.
Yeah. That was my bad for not remembering that either. Because like I said, the Blu-rays just kind of like give them as like an alternative episode, like a bonus feature almost, but they just cut them out completely.
Yeah.
So
Well, shit happens when you party naked, dude, and there's a lot of partying naked in this series.
that there is. So yeah, the intro for this one was Mouso Express, the one that you like.
I don't know why. I don't know why I like this one so much. Like, it beats out. I think my favorite before this was the first Hachikuji intro.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. The one that kind of sort of had the almost like video game vibe to the beat for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Of course I do.
You would.
Oh, yes, they're all on my playlist, my daily playlist.
I'm gonna add them to my playlist too. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Except for like the fucking. I think it's the It's fucking Shinobu's arc from the last season. Last part of the season. I didn't really care.
Oh, I loved Happy Bite.
Me.
Or not Happy Bite. God, what the hell was that one?
The one that's all orchestral and shit. It just felt so out of place.
Oh nah, man.
No, the choir, not orchestral, choir. But
you know, Shinobu's she's old.
Like me.
That's right. So this arc starts off with Sengoku just spitting facts, or as you would like to say,
laying out her Tinder profile.
She up at the shrine with Mr. Snaky, who's spitting nothing's pretty much straight right at her, like just mind fucking her ass up. And,
yeah.
and you know that's still Araragi shows, and well.
I like too that in this first part, this is I think, if I remember correctly thinking back, this is the first point where we actually hear Sengoku outright admit that she's in love with Koyomi.
Yeah. I mean, technically, yes, because like every single arc, this is mid arc content for the beginning. And yeah, so technically speaking, this is the first time, and pretty much the moment they get up there, Araragi is like showing up, and he's like, I'm gonna kill her."
Fuck that bitch up.
Yeah,
that snaky headed demon bitch.
Yeah, even Shinobu's like, yeah, it's too late. You gotta murder the bitch.
You gotta get murked, ho.
But like within like 2 seconds, like freaking Sengoku's like beating the shit out of him.
That was nuts to watch, dude. He's just getting flung around like he's a fucking ragdoll.
Yeah, like the freaking like her hair snakes and like the venom and like, oh my god, like it's brutal. It's a fucking brutal scene.
But it's divine retribution for all the shitty things Araragi does.
Yeah, and like even like the fact that like Shinobu does mention like how like Meme was like she's probably gonna fucking do something eventually. She's a loose cannon.
Loose cannon cop on the edge,
and
3 days away from retirement.
Yeah, he's getting too old for this shit. And like even like I did find it ironic too, but it makes sense with the complex that she has. But she's even like jealous of Shinobu at this very moment.
Yeah. Even though like technically, fucking, they're almost one and the same person. I mean, they're two separate entities, but like, kind of with what they've gone through.
Yeah, like each other's lives kind of just balance on each other to an extent.
Yeah,
I mean, not really necessarily for Araragi, but whatever. Yeah, so like that fight, like she freaking the snake like throws Araragi, and there's like this big blood fountain, right?
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, like fuck it, yeah. What the fuck's his name? Isn't it like I think it's Kuchinawa? Ironically, is the snake's name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is too.
Kuchinawa.
Fuck Kuchidawa.
Yeah,
Fuck Kuchidawa, that little scrunchy motherfucker.
yeah, and then we go out. Sengoku is always depressed, but thinks about Araragi and shit. Fucking dumb bitch. I think yeah, and
Oh,
like at this point, we get back to the good old beginning of the story because yeah, pretty much we just get to see him get brutally murdered multiple times and heal with his vampirism and her just being
bro,
a crazy bitch.
you know, you know how we talked about the blood fountain?
Yeah,
I just went back to my notes and it said Q Slayer song, so obviously that means raining blood.
yeah, dude. It was like there's so much blood. Like it was
Oh my god, dude! What?
ridiculous.
It was fucking. It was like on levels of like I don't know if you ever watched Sweetie Todd back in the day, but the amount of fucking blood that they have squirting out of those people's necks.
It's been a long time since I watched Sweeney Todd, but yeah, I think I kind of remember that. So we get back to the beginning of the technical story, and we've got our boy Ogi,
Our girl Ogie,
our girl boy Ogi, and
our goy,
yeah, our gender neutral Ogi.
or what the fuck is this thing, Ogie? I need to know. Fucking Ogie's an aberration. I'm just gonna fucking come out right and say it. I don't even know yet, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. So, as usual, they're on a bike, and as usual, Ogi knows everything without somehow knowing anything. And makes it even apparent that looking for the Hachikuji. But he says that they say they heard it from Araragi that but it eh,
And there's that whole sequence where like he's trying to think in his head like, oh shit, I should know this right now. Oh,
yeah,
here's a way out.
yeah, like a scapegoat, and like Sengoku's all fucking confused and shit. But what's new? I do like that he tells her, like the fact that I like even quoted this out. People are not able to stay victims forever.
Yeah.
It's easy to be the victim, but maybe she isn't the victim.
Yeah, and then at this point too, isn't this like the first time that fucking Ogi kind of, I know it's a fucking lie, but says that she's fucking Mei's niece.
Yeah.
Oshino's yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
One thing I did note too, because this whole fucking interaction where they're talking and like right towards the end of it, I noted that Sengoku always feels like time is stolen away from her when she's sitting there talking to Ogi.
Yeah. Yeah,
See,
that's true.
pretty important. Considering how much this fucking whole second series has dealt with like weird time related shit and fucking dates and all that.
Yeah, it's the dance of time, baby.
The one that we're all fighting against slowly.
That's right. And so, the conversation, kind of ends. just
Yeah.
kind of ends. And then she gets, if I remember correctly, she gets to school and she kind of like looks on her wrist and sees a snake.
Particularly a white snake with red eyes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I mean, I'd probably freak out too if I just seen a random snake chilling on my arm that was white with red eyes. But
Probably. I feel like I would have a moment of like, what the fuck's going on, homie?
and like if you, I think you obviously notice this because it's very apparent that you'd be stupid not to. But like the other people at the school kind of look like they're blanks, like they're like a separate reality almost,
Oh yeah.
and like it's kind of just a little aspect of like slightly. Obviously, I think they push really hard because she's in her
Yeah.
own little world.
Yeah, this whole fucking visually, like everything in the school was goofy
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
arc.
And so she kind of starts like explaining how her classroom is like, like deviated almost because of Kaiki. Like the environment's just kind of fucking weird. Like nobody trusts each other, and they're all just awkward and quiet.
Yeah.
After the whole, who likes who, etc. thing, and now everybody knows, and it's just weird.
Yeah, she notes that it was like far more depressing to be there than it was before, despite the fact that she's always just been depressed.
Yeah. And almost how but charms were popular and superficial peace, is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because we all like
Kind of
that.
like that. If we all have nukes, no one's gonna fire nukes.
Yeah, kind of like real life.
Oh, who would have thought that it would mimic real life?
Yeah, yeah. So, after kind of class is all chilled out and everything, she calls Araragi. And she tells him about the snake. And, you know, and telling him that it's a different snake than the last time. And they're gonna try to figure it out, but they can't really figure this out until Shinobu wakes up at dark. So wait till 10 o'clock, and I'll give you a call.
I'm gonna go to your underage house after dark, girly.
Don't or do wait up.
You're kind of like a sister to me, and I really like my sisters.
Yeah, and then she just goes, "I'll look forward to it."
Of course, she does do it.
Yeah, and he's just like, "What the fuck do you mean by that?" Like, beep, 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 beep. Hangs up, running out of time.
Like, aren't you in danger right now? Like, what about the snake?
Don't worry about it.
I look forward to seeing your snake.
Excuse me, what?
Don't worry, I'll be ready. I've already taken my blue chews. Not sponsored.
I took my blue chews. Not sponsored. So, so we get to see the snake again, and we forgot to ask Ogi about the snakes, and tells her to hit the shrine, and he'll tell her there's no such thing as a victim, only wrongdoers. I got that whole quote mixed up, or not mixed up, just put together, which I should have split, so I didn't sound like a complete idiot. But yeah, pretty much the snake's talking again.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a victim, only wrongdoers. Like, that's just a common thread completely in this episode.
Well, this whole arc, honestly.
Yeah, pretty much the whole arc, and pretty much how she created this mess from the snake sacrifices, and to atone for it, the snake wants her to make just find the seal, which or his quote unquote body, if I remember correctly, as it's worded.
Yeah, his vessel. And what I liked about this part too is fucking he shows her all the fucking dead bodies of the snakes, but there's like way more than she killed, and she even knows like I didn't kill that many. I killed like 5 at most.
Yeah, and like he even like admits that like normally people would be like running at this fucking point, and she's just kind of like, yeah, what do I got to do? Like she's just like,
Just agreeable as fuck.
yeah, like normally people just wouldn't agree with an apparition, but you're just whatever. Useless.
Fucking, you're not a victim. You're a wrongdoer.
Yeah, that's just it. You're definitely not a victim. Yeah, fuck that bitch. So we get to the next episode, and she kind of like lies immediately. Talking to Araragi, saying she's not seeing it anymore. But we all know she obviously is. And I even have in here that Kuchinawa is a fucker.
He's a fucker. Fucking hate Kuchinawa.
Yeah, and he wants her to find his corpse.
His corpse.
Corpse. And now it's November 1st. Dates. November 1st. Still leads to school with Kuchinawa around her wrist.
That scrunchy motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's just being annoying as shit. Like, he's like questioning everything. Like, what a douche. She's just trying to change her shoes.
And I love too that fucking when she finally we find out around this time that she's the fucking class president, but she's only the class president because no one else wanted to be the fucking class president.
Yeah, she just kind of got thrown into it, even though she obviously didn't want to do it either. They just kind of threw her under the fucking bus.
She's just agreeable.
That's right. And so just a disgusting person.
I liked Sengoku until this arc, honestly, and I don't even feel bad for her after this arc.
Yeah, and even the snake senses that the classroom's fucked up, and he won't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, motherfucking talking all the time, snake.
In any case, that aside. And she just kind of lowers her eyes and keeps silent after this whole fucking mental breakdown she just had inside of her head.
Yeah, she's a piece of work, dude. She really is.
Yeah. And then I even have here in my notes, not in my notes, I guess, just kind of the continuation here that the snake kind of got his body back thanks to the energy that obviously Shinobu drew into the city. And with there being no god here at this point in time, things are kind of haywire.
Yeah.
And she even asked him if he'll release her after all of this, and he's like, "Oh, of course, absolutely." Okay.
Yeah, but you can't trust a snake in the grass,
Yeah.
Common fucking turn of phrase there, guys.
And so, later after school, she starts to look for his body, and he gives absolutely no help to where his corpse is at whatsoever. But she just feels obligated to help,
I killed a bunch of snakes, so I have to help you to atone for my sins.
Yeah, and so she has no drive to do this, but she's worried Araragi's gonna find out. And so I even got in quotations, what are you doing there? Anything goes. Anything goes.
Fucking. And then don't we get about to the point where she starts fucking sneaking out of her house at night and shit and fucking closes the door super loud? Let's note that.
I was gonna say, I think that's the next sneak out. Because if I remember correctly, or maybe it is that one, because I know
it is that one. Okay,
yeah, because if I remember correctly though,
well, I think in this whole time period, she was only shown sneaking out of her house the one time at night because she decided they had the conversation where I can still do my school during the day, but I'll go help you look for your vessel during the night, your body.
that's probably. I'm trying to forget.
But
yeah, so you're probably right on there. Just making a mess on her night sneak outs, just obviously making it blatantly unblatant.
Blatantly obvious that she's sneaking out of the house.
Yeah. So yeah, we get kind of to the next step, so we didn't get any success here whatsoever. And the school principal is kind of like putting pressure on her as the class president to fix the class. But like you said earlier, she was kind of forced into that role.
Yeah.
And, so she's kind of dealing with that shit, kind of walking it off, whatever. And I was right. It's after this. So then this next night, she's looking for his corpse and unsneakily as possible. Um, but he does mention that if she gets close to the corpse, he'll vibrate like a 2006 Nokia.
Or like 2006 Nokia. Don't ever get hit with a 2006 Nokia because that'll survive like a 3-story, 4-story drop. Like you could drop that pretty high.
Yeah,
You if you get hit with a Nokia, guys, you're getting a concussion.
yeah, and the phone's gonna live. That's the worst part about it.
A little side tangent talking on Nokias. I had a Nokia Express Music, not the slide out, but the like flat version of it.
Of course.
That thing survived mosh pits with me. That thing got dropped literally from a 3-story building. I climbed down the ladder, picked it up, and it worked. Like, just put the battery right back in.
Look at that Japanese
Those
technology.
phones were ridiculous. And how far has Nokia fallen? Because their last phones were garbage.
It's a tough market, man.
I mean, if you can build a house out of a phone, you should still have a spot in the market.
That's fair. but yeah, so we're in the sandbox now because that's apparently where it's vibrating.
Oh my god, dude, the castle she builds.
Yeah.
Just this ridiculous fucking sandcastle.
Yeah, like she's just like digging like to China in this little sandbox and building this sandcastle. And we even got like a reference to Doraemon's cane. It's all the anime references that are fucking hilarious. But coincidentally, we run into Araragi at the park, and her parents called Suki, and they were a little worried. That their little slut of a daughter might have snuck out of the house.
And I feel like we need to breach into Ecchi Man territory here.
Yeah.
He overhears the call while his creepy ass is trying to catch a glimpse of his sister sleeping naked. Like he is literally climbing up their bed, like doing his Araragi thing. And then the phone call happens, and he's like, "Oh, gotta hide."
Sometimes you gotta hide. Not that this has ever happened to me, but sometimes you gotta hide.
And like, if I were to take Aragi's perspective on this, why go down the street when you can go down the hallway?
Yeah. So anyways, he picks up on the situation going down after listening to that phone call. And he gets there. Even if she is in defense mode, brings her back to his place and gives her his pajamas, or not his Suki's pajamas specifically.
I specifically noted his sister's slutty kimono.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Suki's little slutty kimono.
It's been brought up a few too many times for me not to have that burned into my memory for a while.
Right, because she likes to lounge in that completely all the time. He says, that she's got to stay the night here,
But
and
the bed is big enough for two.
Yeah, she could stay in his room in his bed, but breaking a Metro polite rule, Shinobu knocks his ass out.
Delivers a swift vampire punch.
Yeah, she just kind of comes out of like the ground and just hits him right in the fucking head underneath and just knocks his ass out. Like that ain't fucking happening.
God, and then this whole interaction between Shinobu and fucking Sengoku is just fucking goofy, dude.
Oh no, she just calls her out in the shit. She pretty much just asks, she's a fucking script or real.
I love too that fucking Shinobu is like, you're the second cutest after me.
Yeah, and she's just like, people are nice because you're always fucking quiet. You're always playing the victim, playing the natural cutie. You're more monster than an apparition.
Oh my god.
Like she just doesn't. She was not holding back any fucking punches. Like she's just telling her like it fucking is. And so yeah,
At
after
that
what's
at
that?
that point, I did kind of feel bad for Sengoku because fucking Shinobu's like straight fucking laying into her, like
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like I said,
tearing her fucking world apart.
she totally had it coming. Like she should just be telling Araragi everything like it is, and not being this fucking innocent little cute bystander who thinks that nothing in the world matters except for this one guy. She should be doing the adult thing, but then again, she's also a fucking
I
ninth
think we're jumping
ninth
a little
grader.
bit. I think we're also jumping a little ahead of ourselves there.
I'm just stating it like it is.
You're spitting facts, nothing but facts.
She's just a little bitch. Doesn't take response, anyways. So, Shinobu just kind of carries Araragi over his shoulder and brings him downstairs.
Yeah.
And that's that's a good way to end that episode because she's doing the right thing.
Oh my god.
She was
The beginning of this next episode fucking cracked me up.
Is it because Tsukiji wakes up Sengoku by cuddling her, thinking that it's Araragi?
Yeah. And then how Suki is like fucking, oh, Araragi is such a gentleman. He would never sleep with you. He offered up his bed and slept downstairs.
Yeah, about that.
He's totally trying to fucking sleep with her.
Little does she know that an apparition that's also like half of his life knocked his fucking ass out and dragged him down the stairs like a caveman. But it is what it is. And then we kind of bring up this little topic about how Sengoku doesn't like being called cute.
But Suki is going on and on about how cute she is, noting again that Sengoku is the second cutest after Suki.
Yeah, she's just a second to everybody,
I love that little callback right there.
Yeah. And then Suki, of course, uses violence for everything, including Sengoku not, answering fucking anything.
Fucking this moment, fucking where she's grilling her like it's a fucking interrogation. Did they even
Yeah.
fucking like shine a light in her face and shit?
Yeah. It's not your fault. You're nothing but cute.
Fucking. I love how Suki comes right out and she's like, "Do you love Koyomi?" And fucking Sengoku's like, "What? What? What are you talking about? Do you have proof?"
Yeah. She's just like, it's like, I mean, it's kind of obvious. Everybody fucking knows. And like, she's even like asking about, yeah, like you said, like all the accounts and everything that happened. But then she kind of like breaks it to her that, he has a girlfriend. And then Sen's like, I kind of figured he was, he's always walking with bitches and shit. But Senjo Gahara was kind of obvious. And it's like, I mean, yeah. She clearly wears the pants in that relationship, but yeah.
She does.
And that's okay.
It is okay. I love me some Senjo Gahara. Every time she is on the screen, it is a treat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's a real shame You know, we don't get much of her this arc, but you know,
It is a shame.
we get her next arc here. So, you know, Suki tells, Sen that, since she can't, be sure with herself, that she's, God, I hate, she's living off of it. There we go. I was like, my notes are so sloppy. I hate my writing so much. You have no idea. But yeah, so she can't be sure with herself, she's, just kind of just living off of it. And, she's just kind of being a piece of shit mental freeloader.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I like that too. You have a dream? Just buy reality. And then Suki's so fucking fed up with her shit that she just cuts Sen's hair.
I thought that was fucking insane, dude. Like,
yeah, just straight up, just bye-bye.
Here, show more of your face.
Yeah. And like Sen's clearly not happy about this. Because Sengoku's kind of a little bitch about her hair and likes to hide her face and everything, because she hates being cute. But, our snake boy promises to fix her hair.
Obvious foreshadowing.
Right.
Obvious foreshadowing. Like, you want some snakes for hair? I'll fix your hair.
And so we get to school, and, the teacher thinks that she's someone else, but, asks her, questions, like, just keeps pounding her again and again about the whole school thing. And then she finally just kind of snaps and tells him to shut the fuck up.
My God, dude. Like, and at this point, fucking, you feel like the haircut is what fucking did it. Like,
You're like, that's it. That was the
you don't
final
quite
straw.
realize what was going on. Like, oh my God, she got her haircut. Now she's just a bitch.
Yeah. That's all it took was those bangs. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if someone were to cut my bangs, I'd probably be a bitch.
Yeah, right? Everybody just thought she was nothing but a cute girl that does what she's told. But she has feelings.
Oh my God, I can see your forehead and your eyebrows. Feelings.
So after that, she just goes to her classroom, breaks the door to take care of
fucking
business.
kicks it.
Yeah, she knocks that fucking door right down. She's fucking
Oh
done
my
with this
God.
shit. Like she
Oh, it was
like
great.
hates all of them. She just fucking hates them all. And like after this fucking pent up rage fucking bitch fit, she just leaves school.
It's pretty interesting at this point too, where like she's fucking, her inner voice is still her like shy, timid self.
Yeah, even though she's like got these like she's starting to like fucking unwind at the seams, she's still just got that timid ass little voice to it. It's quite entertaining.
Yeah, fucking, I even noted that it seems like fucking her body's slowly giving way to fucking Kuchinama's will.
Yeah, and even like the snake's like, I didn't do anything, and she's like, I know, I just said what I wanted to. Damn. And I even quoted here, the days of a student life have ended. Let's end this. Like, she just assumes like she's gonna fucking die and just quit being at school now. And the snake kind of tells her he knows where it's at now after the whole sleepover and everything, and that's in Araragi's room.
The place that Sengoku often dreams of.
Yeah, what the perfect...
At least I assume so.
Oh, 100%. Especially now that she slept in his bed. And so, we're in his room, and we're questioning at this point. I know what you're thinking. How did she get in the house? Well, we'll find that out in a little bit. But at this point...
Well, it was obviously Kuchinawa's magic.
Oh, well, what else would it be? And so we're in his room looking for the seal. Or, his body, if you will. And instantly, she finds his porn.
Oh, and she goes through it like a fucking teen in heat. My
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh,
We've got some school lovely, some girls with glasses, and fucking the good old girls with glasses callback, and and fucking she's scrolling through and the fucking he's like, maybe you should be looking like somewhere else, and she's like, but maybe
well,
your object of worship's hidden in the pages,
of this looty book.
and ironically, it was.
It just fucking drops on the floor, doesn't it?
Like he just hides it in there. Like that's a good spot to hide this fucking seal. They ain't gonna ever
It's
look
not
at my
like everyone who ever goes in my bedroom searches around for my porno stash.
yeah. The common anime teenage boy trope. We'll just search in your room for porn. And yeah, the irony was it was almost like a bookmark too. Like it wasn't just in like a random place. Like I feel like he definitely was using it as a bookmark.
Those pages were probably a little sticky.
Right, 100%, guaranteed. And so he's like, if you feed me this charm, I will grant you a wish. And of course, her, excuse me, her wish, it's that fucking beer, man. Her wish, her wish is that she wants Araragi to fall in love with her. And
Well, more so, not even like fall in love with her, just the feeling to be mutual, because this kind of comes into play. I think it's like exactly worded. Like, I wish Koyomi's feelings were mutual with mine.
oh, well, he was behind her, and all he says is no. Oh,
Yeah.
he's just like, no, no. That's a no go for me, champ. And so we get to the freaking next episode, and it's ironic because I feel like it's definitely not intentional, but kind of intentionally related to his parents, since both his parents are cops. But put the charm on the ground.
Oh, God. That's funny.
And so like and she's just given the it's for atonement fucking victim wrongdoer fucking bullshit, you know. And like then of course here comes our favorite little girl Shinobu, and
Yep, no donuts in sight, though.
yeah,
Sadly.
yeah, and of course she's got to call her out again for the second time. She's just a brat, and to just take it. Just take it from her. Just take it. It was entrusted
Yep.
by Guy, but
Yep.
she ate it. Or she's fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. So now
This is
uh,
that was a fucking whole insane scene there.
yeah, it was very like almost like a good
Intense.
yeah, like just there's just like it's like a family fight, She just calling her fucking brat and just take it, and then she just eats it, and fucking all this yelling and emotions going on about feelings, and it just escalated so quickly. And so now Shinobu says, I love this. She's like, now I gotta eat her. That's just how it's gotta be.
Well, if I have to, I guess I'll eat her.
Yeah. But then Sengoku transforms into, the bitch we see in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where she starts beating the piss out of both of them. Like
Yeah.
really bad. Like freaking so bad to the point that Shinobu needs to heal. And like Sengoku is like literally almost killing Araragi. Just
It-
living to the point of tears.
Yeah, I fucking love too how she said they're fucking crying over the fact that like you chose to save Shinobu, but you didn't save me, and I loved you too.
Yeah, even though he was trying to help her completely.
Exactly. Like even earlier in the episode, he apologized for not seeing the fucking signs of what was going on.
Yeah, and not like he also didn't save her beforehand either.
Yeah.
She's just a victim complex on wheels, baby.
Yep.
So we get to November 2nd now. Next day. That was all one fucking day. What a life. What an eventful day, you know. And this is where we get to the opening scene. And we kind of find out that obviously Sengoku created this god. And that the
And like
whole.
half her fucking arc is a hallucination.
Yeah, she pretty much fabricated everything to this point. And all the info from June when removing the charm. Yeah, well, you know, whatever. Now she's a god.
Fair enough. I mean, if I could eat a piece of paper and become a god, I might.
Debatable. I don't think I'd do it.
Just for a little bit. I mean, you can always come back from it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's true. That's true. And then you think about it, and like I think it. I mean, obviously it mentions this too, but like kind of the fact that the whole illusion of it even started when she found out about Sanjo Gahara.
Yeah, back in September.
Yep. And
The,
that's when she essentially tried to do the 100 worships.
which I'm not super familiar with
It's
Japanese culture and all that, but what
yeah,
it sounds like to me is like you go and pray at a shrine 100 times, and if you pray that 100 times, you essentially get your prayers answered.
yep. For the most part, that's pretty much what I understand about it too, because I'm not super into the Buddhistic cultures either, but for the most part, yeah. And so you know, we get our little boy Ogi again. You know, pointing out there was no god at a broken shrine, but also mentioned the seal. Even gave her the scrunchie. Kinda sus.
Yeah,
Kinda sus. What could that all be about?
I don't know. I feel like Ogi plays a huge part in this series that we're just starting to now realize. Um, I do love how in this point too, fucking, I might be jumping a little ahead, but I got a note about how Shinobu actually refers as the niece pretender.
I think you might be on. I don't have it in my notes, but I think you're right on there. Um, and we even get an Araragi hand twitch. Um, but we get more stabs to poor Shinobu. That poor fucking girl. God, I feel so bad for her. But
She's been raked across the fucking coals, even back in fucking Kizu, watching her get her fucking limbs ripped off and shit.
yeah. And then this is where we find out that obviously she staged her leave to get, you know, caught so that she could go to the place to steal a key. So she could twist reality to her own favor, which is like totally fucked up. But
Like the delusions are strong with this one. Like
yeah, like the fact that you could even
you
like think of all this and delusion it out to think that none of it was even planned is just wild.
it's insane. Like you really get a grasp on how fucking crazy this girl went for a while. Cause like this draws back to like when she left her house, and we noted that she wasn't very sneaky when she left her house. She slammed the door, and
Yeah.
that her slamming the door led to the phone call, which led to Araragi finding her, which led to her getting to the house, which led to her getting a key so she could get back in and get this talisman that by all stretches of the imagination she shouldn't have known about.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's very well planned out. Like it's just insanity. And this is all from like a 15-year-old girl.
But Ogi's got to have a lot to fucking do with this. I'm just gonna fucking straight up say it. Like, there's got to be some sort of weird hypnotic suggestion going on, playing off her delusions a little bit more.
Not our girl boy Ogi.
Not them at all. Not the niece pretender.
That's right. And so, I even quoted this too. Victim and wrongdoer have switched places. So yeah, now she's obviously switched like a motherfucker. And like they get this like nice little like how she's speaking to herself almost in a third perspective, even though she's obviously talking to our snake god, quote unquote. And then she's just like, let's kill Araragi because he loves his girlfriend. Bitch is fucking crazy.
Yep.
And so, yeah, like, and then Senjogahara calls. And Sengoku picks up his phone. And instantly, this is where you start to gain, if you didn't already, in my opinion, you should at this point. But Senjogahara, you gain so much respect for her at this point. Where she calls and she's so calm and collective about this whole thing, too. Where she's like, is my boyfriend still alive? For now. Well, that's.
I love too how she calmly, fucking straight up gives her advice at this point too. Like,
I was just gonna say
on who to kill.
Yeah, she's like, let's make a deal. Okay. Yeah. She's like, here's who you're gonna kill. Okay, if you're gonna kill anybody, you're probably gonna want to kill me first. Just say. And then the vampire. And then Araragi. Because if you kill Araragi before, you're gonna have to deal with a full-on fucking vampire.
And then if you don't kill me first, I will kill everyone.
I wanna kill you, bitch.
Not just I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking of fucking goddamn Dave Chappelle, but yeah.
Fair enough.
But the fact that, like, obviously she does this and, like, obviously it's intentional, but at the same time, she's just being honest, too, because, like, she's a badass girlfriend. And so she asked for a favor after this. She asked for some time, 6 months preferably, because graduation. And
yes.
Yeah, and then, she comes with the, maybe we could be friends, or maybe we could have been friends, And then Senjogahara's like, nah, I hate cute brats.
I loved that. I hate everything about you. No, we can't be friends.
And I don't know, did you watch after the credits?
With the little final confrontation looking thing.
Yeah, so the shrine's all rebuilt, and then she's like, Sengoku's like envisioning like all like 6 of our MCs are there for one final battle.
And they all fucking die.
yeah, Kami-ing soon.
Yeah. And that's like the end of the arc. And you want to know what the end of the arc always makes me? It always makes me thirsty. You want to know what quenches my thirst better than anything else?
Rip it, energy.
Not sponsored, but we could be.
Come on, Rip it. Hit me.
Come on,
up.
guys.
We've got so much planned this summer. We will get the views. Get us the sponsor.
Rip it, rip it, rip it.
There's nothing more brutal than sponsoring me and this Mr. Etchy Doki Doki Etchy man with some rip it energy. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And if you guys do end up sponsoring, I we're not picky on flavors,
Nope, we are not. We enjoy a wide plethora of your flavors.
We'll take that sponsorship money, and we'll get the Doki Doki man a really nice camera.
And you can see my beautiful face.
And then we could do face videos. So it works out. It works out in the end, you know? So rip it. Hit us up, please.
You guys can watch me grow older.
Yeah, you guys can watch this over the next few years as the Doki Doki Man starts aging even further beyond aging.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Um,
I am an enigma. You will never know how old I am until I'm really old, and then you still won't know how old I am.
yeah, so anyways, thanks for not sponsoring this video, Rip It, but hit us up
If
anytime.
i- yeah, if you want to,
If you want,
you got a line. You got a line.
you know my Gmail account. Don't pretend you don't. So
You've been watching this whole time.
so yeah, we get to the next arc, and I just named this arc, even though this is not the name of the arc. I for some reason I know it's has nothing to do with her, but I was just like shinobu time, and I was like, why did I say that?
That's that's literally the name of the arc, though, because I have it written there. Shinobu Time, episode 14 through 17.
Yeah, I mean it's technically the name of the arc, but I don't know. I don't consider it. I mean it's the technical name. I shouldn't even argue with it. But anyway, so we got Ogi running because
Fucking Ogi.
that's what Ogi does.
Ogi's the new enigma. I can't be the enigma anymore. I chose a name.
And we get that nice Shinobu intro. You know, and the events that she dealt with 400 years ago.
Yeah.
And Araragi tells the story, and in my opinion, it's an underrated intro. The White Lies is really good, but who am I to say?
You're the one to say, I suppose.
That's
You're the one
right.
to say.
And now we're back to August 21st, right after the time travel. We jumped again,
Yeah.
and he tells Hachikuji about it. And at first, he can't recognize her without her backpack. She kind of looks like a slug.
Fucking, I did like to fucking, because before fucking we get into the slug conversation,
Yeah.
fucking, I like how she kind of called Araragi out.
About being
It was
gone.
like,
Like, oh my god, you could have been gone for like an eternity.
no, not even the being gone part. Like, oh, you tried to save me. You tried to save me for a completely self-serving purpose.
Yeah, I'm okay being
Like,
dead.
yeah, I'm fine being dead. You weren't helping me out at all.
I've been dead longer than I've been alive, almost.
Pretty much. And if
And
I wasn't dead, I wouldn't have been able to meet you, Araragi.
that's right. And so we end up at his house, and he invites her in. But with his parents gone, she doesn't. She doesn't want to go in.
I wonder why. There's nothing that has led us to this point to believe that Araragi would do anything to Hachikuji.
Right? Absolutely not. I think not either. And she gives that nice quote of, "Great, now I have to get it cleaned."
Oh god. They should fucking accuses him of putting a fucking wire in it and all that
Yeah,
other
yeah.
shit.
She's like, "You could have wiretapped my bag." Like, clearly Aragi has all this hookups and everything for all these things. And he invites her to food, but then instantly this darkness comes, and Hachikuji is not getting a good feeling about it, and neither's Aragi. And so what do? They get on his little bike, and they run.
Yeah.
And this is
And
quite the scene here, by the way.
I did fucking like the little callback because I don't know if you probably picked up on the callback, but fucking it was instinct, it was intuition, it was a terrible premonition.
Yeah,
Fucking that felt like a callback to the first time Araragi actually ran into
yeah. Hello.
So yeah, he was like, it was an instinct, it was intuition, it was a terrible premonition, which felt like when he first ran into Kaiki.
Yeah,
Because didn't he say something along those lines, or even that word for word? It's been a while since we watched Bake. Because yeah, isn't Kaiki introduced in Bake? No, yeah, no,
Keiki's not
yeah,
introduced him, but
Nisei,
he's
Nisei.
he's just an Issei. Yep. So
It's
yeah,
been several weeks since I watched Nisei, but like I noted that definitely.
yeah, he gets like that same type of feeling that he got then that he gets with the shadow.
And I
Ironically.
like the callbacks. I really do.
Yeah, oh yeah, and there's so many of them. Like that's one thing about this series is you always get so many callbacks, and it's just freaking amazing like that.
Yeah, it makes everything that feels so disjointed at times still feel integrated with each other.
Right, right, and I even like further along into the series, you still get those callbacks, and like you'll see as we get along. But like, yeah, like you said, it pretty much just like intertwines everything. Even though it's over like a year, it just makes it feel more like a flow, like a constant, like a river,
Yeah, more cohesive.
more cohesive, more realistic. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, we're running from the shadow, and he's like, Aragi's just like cooling on my back.
Push those breasts into me more.
Yeah, tighter. Push them boobies with rotation. And then I write down what boobies.
I also wrote down that at this point, Hachikuji starts sucking on Aragi's shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Like she's going. Things are getting kind of weird now, and the shadow's definitely closing in. Yeah, and then he's just like, "Kiss my back."
Oh, it was so fucking goofy. This whole chase scene was just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and then she like in the midst of this chase breaks an antenna. Um, and by the end of this, it looks like she was totally just assaulted by him, right? Like,
Like, and not like she kind of somehow wasn't during this whole sequence. Like, push your tits into me, girl.
well, we were getting more mental than physical, but by the end of it, it looked more physical than mental.
Yeah,
And so, out of nowhere, Ononoke comes and hits the darkness, right?
unlimited rule book.
Yeah, it's always the unlimited rule book. That's unlimited rule book is unlimited rules. I mean, it's in the name. You know, it can do anything. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and so instantly she thinks Aragi did something to Hachikuji.
I mean, how could you not with how she looked at that point? So disheveled, clothes
Yeah,
fucking ripped up and shit.
yeah, and then like even like though he's like picking her up to escape, he puts her hand up her skirt, and he's just like, "What if it's hiding in there?" Oh my god, boy, you're not helping anything. And
Oh
so,
god.
yeah, it's yeah. And so, they escape to the cram school. And this scene's I mean, the whole cram school situation here is pretty epic too. So,
It is.
Ononoke, compliments Araragi about his muscles. Oh,
Lots of good muscle. You must work out. And then
yeah.
she tells him to stay naked forever, and he has an amazing, thin yet macho body.
Yeah, he's gonna stay that way to appear to the world. Like,
Oh my god.
excuse me. What was that, lady? You dead puppet?
And then she fucking tries to awkwardly touch him while they're trying to fucking talk about the darkness.
Yeah, like, she's very interested in his ass. Like
Oh
they
god.
and like so we're talking about the darkness while this whole tomfoolery is going around, and she thinks that it might have just shown up, and she for some reason can't get in contact with Kaganui, but that's for later. Who knows why? Because
Yeah.
she's on a mission of some sort. And so our only hope at this point is to wait for Shinobu to wake up. Of course.
And I love how fucking they decide to wait to ask for Shinobu, and then he's like, well, if all else fails, Shinobu could eat it, and we could ask Hanakawa
Yeah, because of course, Shinobu could just eat any apparition. That's the scapegoat, right?
later.
And so obviously the main reason they think Shinobu might know anything is because of Mei's lectures that he gave for all the few months that poor girl had to hear him. And so, Shinobu's getting up, and instantly Ononoki's throwing shade about her age.
Hold on. We forgot about the part where Ononoke wants Araragi to repay her back in muscle, like some horny little dead girl.
Yeah, I think that had that literally right next to my notes too, so that worked out good.
And then fucking Ononoke smooches Araragi, leading to a fucking Metal Gear reference.
Yeah, and then if you look in the background too, Hachikuji's backpack and Hachikuji are 20 desks high, just kind of chilling there. That's just a note I put in there because there's that whole reference thing, and then there's just her with that backpack and her just chilling, knocked out, unconscious on top of 20 desks. Okay, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And then Araragi gets his molester hands ready.
yeah, and then Ononoki gets a smooch.
Yeah, and that was that fucking weird Metal Gear reference right there, the Lale Lule Lo.
Yeah. See, and I don't have enough Metal Gear knowledge to understand the reference, but
Bro, a little side tangent right here, but I sat and watched the whole fucking Metal Gear story in a 2 hour long video because I didn't want to play the games, but I wanted to know the story.
yeah,
So
that's probably where the whole have fun with the game, it isn't a game thing comes from.
probably.
Yeah, then what is it? Hachikuji sleeping means I can do anything. This whole scene is just so convoluted. There's just so much fucking going on. But
oh my god, it's ridiculous.
before anything can even get more serious in this scene, Shinobu stops that shit.
Vampire punch.
Yeah. She's really good at that at this point. And she admits that she couldn't sleep because his mind just wouldn't shut the fuck up, and that poor girl has to read his whole mind, and same thoughts. So I can just imagine what this poor girl's been going through.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't think Shinobu is into little girls the same way Araragi is.
Right. She's more into little boy Araragi, as we've seen in the first part. She was gonna molest him. So she's picking up on his ways, but in the opposite way.
Yeah, maybe one could say that Araragi is rubbing off on Shinobu.
Oh, very much so. And so she tells him how she's seeing that he kissed Ononoke, and she's really jealous, but for some reason, understandably, kiss, this this whole jealousy scene is absolutely adorable.
I agree.
And then he kisses her.
He's kissing all the little girls.
Yeah. Are you Italian? Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he really stresses friendly in the recap with Haji Kuji. Okay. He managed to make sure that all this was it was friendly. And that the darkness was something that and then so yeah, Shinobu talks about after that, the whole kissing and lovey and jealousy and everything else going on. Um and she talks about, the darkness was something she ran into 400 years ago.
Yeah. Notes that it's not an aberration either.
Right. Yeah. And
And if left unchecked, it would destroy the town.
that's right. And yeah, so she's talking about, how she was in Antarctica, to see the northern lights. And after she created this is kind of like the whole creation of her first servant story. And like how, there was no one up there, so she got lonely. And so she literally just straight jumps to Japan from Antarctica. And, and she like destroys this whole lake, and like everything falls as a rain, ending this drought in this village. And someone saw it and called her a god right off the bat. And so they, for some reason, just decided to quote unquote build a shrine at the bottom of the lake. But she kind of built it herself after becoming a god for who knows how fucking long by everybody in this goddamn town already.
Yeah.
It's like, man, how easy was it back in the day to become a god, or just be called a god?
I don't know. All you had to do was jump from Antarctica to Japan and help them with their drought.
That's fair.
That seems pretty easy. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I got a notice here. Got sick of him in undies and made clothing.
I'm lost at what this reference is at the moment.
If I remember correctly, wasn't Araragi like? That's what I'm trying to remember what I wrote down that note for. Wasn't he fucking like?
Yeah, he was in his
Yeah,
he was covering. Wasn't he covering Hachikuji with his clothes because her clothes was torn up and shit like that? And that's where the whole Ononoki talking about how he should be naked all the time for everyone to see.
Yeah. So yeah, she got sick of him in his underwear and made clothes for him. So, and she got what was coming, and obviously pretending to be a god. She kind of met her first servant, which ironically was a vampire hunter.
Yeah,
or an apparition killer, if you will.
And she noted at this time that she could feel her vampire powers starting to dwindle as she lived as a god.
Yeah. And then I even quoted, "How the fuck is Araragi's bike okay?"
Fair enough.
Like, you see it over there, and I'm like, after everything that happened, his bike is still okay. Lies. Fucking lies.
That bike has been through hell and back.
Yeah, and it's probably a Schwinn or something. There's no way Schwinn bike sucks. So.
Oh, I was about to say not sponsored, but if we're calling them out for sucking, like, okay, Schwinn, you suck. It's probably a Diamondback.
Yeah. And so we find out after that, that obviously he showed up to check on Shinobu with his we kind of find out now that he had quote unquote two swords. He had Kokoro Watari, which was the one that we know about already. And then there was Yume Watari, which is the one that actually has the ability to heal apparitions.
Yep, and noted as the apparition reviver.
Right.
And for all you non-Japanese speakers, the sword is called Dream Span. I
Yeah,
can't remember what the other sword is called at this time, but I noted Dream Span because that's what it is in the subs.
that's fair. And
Yeah,
yeah, after well, Mr. Doki taking notes. Look at him go.
yeah,
And we
like yeah.
and we come to find out the problem that she had then is kind of obviously literally similar to the problem we have now, but a different aspect where the energy she made to it was drawing apparitions and people were disappearing. But they were blaming other humans as the cause because why would you blame your god, right? And before we knew it, everyone was just fucking dead. If they knew who she
Yeah,
was, ironically. Ironically, but we didn't put two and two together, you know.
nope.
So, she tried to sleep it off. And, because that's what vampires can do, sleep for a millennium, whatever. But then Mr. Apparition Killer came, and his men were dead. And, you know,
Not dead. They just disappeared.
yeah. And I mean, what do you think happened to him? You know?
Well, they're obviously dead, but like, it's more ominous when you say they disappeared.
That's true. That's true. She said she'd look, but, everyone was
I don't
gone.
have I don't have my reading glasses. I can't look for them.
That's
They're not there. I don't see them.
that's exactly what she said. I don't make up my reading glasses. Oh shit!
She's pretty old, guys.
I left I left them in Antarctica.
Oh no! We gotta jump back to Antarctica for a completely unrelated reason.
I'm 100 years old. Uh, and
But
so
I still got it, boys.
you're damn right you do. And so the darkness shows up now, and it swallowed them and well most of her, and she escaped and never returned until now.
Dun dun dun.
We come to find out that almost all of him was swallowed, but his right wrist got out. And so, she just
The
kind of,
best wrist.
yeah, he's Japanese. It's probably his left one, but
Fucking left-handedness is the devil.
well, it's better in Asia. That's why Link's a lefty. Seriously, but
Oh, I know. I just, fucking left-handedness is the devil,
yeah,
and that's the thing.
my mom's a lefty. I know. What are we gonna do about
Yeah,
it?
dramatic gasp. We'll tell the church.
Oh, that's fine. I'd rather we didn't. So, so yeah, she revived him on impulse. No consideration to his feelings. Just revived him.
I
And
don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone forever.
I'm old and I need someone to answer my life alert.
That's right, baby. So, she did the thing. This is the next episode now, and she failed. He wasn't mentally strong. Uh, he decided to try to take his own life.
Yeah,
He's
he
kind of
is angry.
he's kind of mad that he is what he was trying to kill. I mean, understandably so. Uh, you know, that's like me being happy. You know,
Live, laugh, toaster bath.
who's to say?
You know, you know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And so obviously he blames her for the darkness because I mean it was her fault. But when he died, he left a replica of his sword.
And I actually have the English name of that sword written down right here. It's Heartspan for all you non-Japanese speakers.
Yeah. Are you too good for Kokoro Watari?
I'm not too good for that, but like they might want to know.
They don't need to know.
Well, knowing is half the battle. Squids. Knowing is half the battle.
I guess. I guess you're right.
It's true, G.I. Joe, he's a real American hero.
Well, he's something. He was an action figure or a doll, depending on how you look at it.
It's funny because I always preferred the ninjas in that show. Anyway.
Of course you did. Didn't we all though?
Yeah, I mean, why are we sitting here right now talking about Japanese anime if we didn't prefer the ninjas?
That's true, or else we'd be talking about like frat parties or something.
They're like Thundercats.
Hey,
oh!
That's right. So yeah, she swears to drink for other than nutrition. No idea what the darkness is. Oshino shirt. That's what I got in my notes. Oshino shirt.
I don't. I think I don't know what I got going on here because like, so like for me at the end of the episode, it has. At the end of episode 15, it's talking about how he threw himself in the sun, and then Heartspan is created. And then we hop into episode 16, and they're discussing a plan to strike at the darkness.
Okay,
and that's when
a little bit of a
Ononoki shows up and tells Araragi not to trust everything Shinobu says.
Yep.
So there's like a whole chunk of this because you like jumped to the next episode, and I was like, "This is at the end of episode 15. Like, we're not even at the next episode yet."
Yeah, because it's technically the after credits scene though. There was the credits and then this scene, so I can't.
Maybe I missed the after credits scene for that episode. That's my bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, so yeah, like you said though, Ononoki appears and says not to listen to Shinobu, and she hid the cause and thought Shinobu wouldn't talk, and Shinobu asks if she's really that intolerant looking. These two they just don't get along. Like at all.
My notes get weird here because it says something about Ononoki being grateful for ice cream and hiding in the hallway.
Well, that's a little bit because Shinobu gets her in a full Nelson and says, he can feed her.
Fondle your breasts. Yeah, surprisingly, he doesn't go for it.
Yeah. Girl, young girl, little girl, Shangri-La.
And then all fucking three girls corner him and are like, "Who do you like best? Who do you like best?"
Stalk you forever after the first kiss. Who'd you pick out of us? Shinobu. Now, between your girlfriend, and he just didn't answer that one. Hachikuji awakens after this whole ruffian bullshit. And he does this thing, he throws her up and they wrestle hard and we get this we get this nice underpanty shot.
I noted that it was another one of their weird grope fights.
Yeah, definitely was.
It's a weird one.
And we even got, the context of what she said earlier, too. So there's that. And then all three of them bite him.
And he's never looked happier.
Yeah. And then I think Ononoki just joined to join, in my opinion.
Probably.
Yeah. And so we're kind of like figuring shit out. And so we're walking and the fact that they didn't ignore the red light for Hachikuji, um, because fuck that shit. Um, but the tension that Hachikuji and Shinobu have is like gold.
Yeah.
Oh, like her getting her like head, just like can't even talk. Hachikuji getting held out by hand, like that poor fucking little girl.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Gain would know everything, and of course she would, because she knows everything. And so Shinobu goes into the shadow, as she does, because she likes to do that. And Araragi grabs Hachikuji and Ononoke. Or
Uh,
Ononoke.
we're jumping a little ahead here because like we didn't even tell her that the darkness showed up because that's a pretty big point at this point, like as to why Shinobu's going in the shadow and our
Oh, that's where I was gonna get with you know, the jump, but yeah. Yeah, the shadow's
uh
there. But you're right. Pre-contextualized would have been a smarter idea. But that's how I wrote it down in my head. Yeah.
yeah, fucking, and then like before that too, I wanted to note that fucking somehow Hachikuji gets Shinobu and Ononoki in check and takes the fucking lead for a moment there, right before fucking Shinobu threatens to eat Hachikuji.
Yeah. Yeah. it's a lot of shit.
There was a lot fucking going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's all fucking going on. And yeah, like I said, the darkness is there, and we do a nice instant transmission, or an unlimited rule book, if you will.
Yes, with a firm grip on a Hachikuji breast.
Yes, definitely a firm Hachikuji grab, and it is now August 22nd. And that's, yeah, like you said, and I quote, that's the reason Hachikuji was fine, because he had a firm grip on her breasts.
Like after they escape, we see Araragi had a firm grip on Hachiguchi's breasts. That's what my notes say.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he asked Ononoki how long he was out for, and it was 12 hours. And
yep.
he's like, "How's Hachikuji?" And he like sniffs her and gropes her and panties.
Squeezes her face a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta make sure she's fine. And so yeah, we've come to decide now at this point that we must find Gain. And so we also come to find out that Shinobu hasn't come out of her shadow since they made the jump from the darkness at the school.
Yeah.
And so we come up with this genius idea that maybe he has to kiss, Ononoki to get her out.
And I kind of have a question for you because you follow the timeline a little bit more than I did.
Yeah.
Is this like the same point sort of interacting where back in Tsubasa Tiger, is this kind of the same general time frame where fucking Hanakawa goes into Araragi's room and Shinobu shows up in Araragi's room talking about how their link's been broken?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep. It's to an extent. Yes. That is a good chunk of it. Good job. But yeah. So he's talking about he's got to make out with her with his tongue and everything, because he's really hyping this up now to get Shinobu out. But at this very moment, Hachikuchi wakes up. Are you jelly? That's what I got. I can kiss you instead. yeah, obviously, Shinobu's gone, and at first he kind of thinks that maybe the pairing's broken, but that's not the case necessarily. Um, but who are we to say? He wants, obviously he wants to hurry to her, but we can't jump at this point because obviously with them two being separated as a link, he's weaker.
Motherfucker gonna die.
Yeah, like he couldn't handle it again. So what do? They start walking off the mountain because guess what, baby? They got Sprint Mobile and they ain't got no service on that mountain.
No service at all. No service. Fuck
No,
Sprint.
but we need to get a hold of Guy and figure everything out. So we start walking off the mountain, right? And we get to see, coincidentally, Araragi sends the text to everybody that we did see in the Torah arc.
The don't worry text.
Yeah,
Vori.
yeah. And so, yeah, we also get to see that Kaganui hasn't replied at all, of course, because why would she? And so we do what everybody does, and we just go to the first house we see for a phone. And coincidentally, who's at this house other than Guyan? Who had who had been waiting for them on top of it.
Well, doesn't she know everything? So, like, she obviously knows to wait for him.
She does know everything, but it's just like, oh, of course you're here. Oh, who would have thought?
That
Right?
kind of threw me for a loop, honestly, but I wasn't expecting it. It pulled the rug out from under me. I was like, what?
She knew that you wouldn't be expecting it.
Well, that's because she knows everything.
That's right. And so instantly she wants Ononoki to sit on her lap. Because she's just everybody's little groom pet, that poor thing. And she even says, she got the text, but she was busy, because it's tough being, Guy.
But she knows everything.
That's right. And she was even starting to wonder why, and worry Ononoki wasn't at her job that she put her on. But
now is this sequence before or after fucking Guy met up with Hanakawa at the train station?
This would be before.
Okay.
Yeah, because when they're at the train station, she's like, Araragi's dealing with his own shit right now.
Well, Guy knows everything, so like she would know what Araragi's doing at all times anyway. So
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she swears everything's fine, everything's safe, but in order for her to give him advice and help, she wants 3 favors. Number 1, introduce her to Kambaru, but not as her aunt, because obviously at this point in the story, even though we watched Hana, so we know she accepts her later on, but at this point she doesn't like her mom or her mom's family, so she doesn't want that.
Yep.
And then secondly, which is another reference to Hana, which is kind of why you watch it first, but she wants help with the monkey paw, which is Ononoki's job at this point.
No, I didn't realize that was Ononoki's job.
Yeah, that was the job that she tasked her with. But obviously she got a little sidetracked with this whole, darkness thing. And then the other one she didn't really mention because we kind of got figured out with him agreeing to the other 2. So, there's that.
So essentially it's all the same favor.
Yeah, pretty much all in one combo pack,
Yeah. It's kind of mind-blowing to realize that fucking Ononoke's job was to deal with the monkey paw, because I did not pick up on that watching it.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Oh my god, foam. There's a lot of shit. That's the thing about this series. That's why I take notes, even if they're convoluted and I slightly get things wrong memory. But like, there's so many things going on. If you don't take notes to review like a whole season, you're not gonna remember everything at all.
No.
And so,
No, not at all.
right? Like, yeah, that's why I started taking notes. That's why I think it's good we did, because it's a lot to remember. And so, first thing Guyan says, going to town, bad. Shinobu's not the target. Hachikuji's the target. Oof.
Oh, poor Hachikuji.
And the main reason she's the target is because her existence is going against what her existence is supposed to be.
And the darkness is essentially an anti-existence that cleans up aberrations that stray from the path.
Right. And obviously, with Shinobu, who was living as a god when she was a vampire, stopped pretending to be a god, and so it stopped chasing her. And obviously, with Hachikuji no longer making people lost, she's not following her little cow snail life. And so, sadly, Gain's kind of mean to Hachikuji, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Saying, that her lie is her own existence, which is just kind of fucking true, but brutal.
She does not pull any punches. She just cuts straight to the chase.
Yeah. Yep. So, Hachikuji kind of puts some words into it, And, because obviously Aragi's like, we could just get lost again. We could, just never go back home. And, even like Hachikuji's like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to.
I'd rather disappear than make people lost.
Yeah, and she's accepted her fate at this point, and she wants to go. And
This whole ending of this episode, because we're getting close to the end here, made me so fucking sad.
Yeah, 100%. And even Araragi at this point is the one that's being selfish,
Yeah.
And, even like Hachikuji's just like, what are we going to be lost for like 20 years? What about your girlfriend, And like your family and everything, Maybe we can meet in another life, but, And yeah, like you said, this whole last scene of this arc is absolutely tear-jerking. And she admits how her flubs were 100% on purpose. And that, for one last time, she gives him one and kisses him and flubs it on top of. I love though, even though it's really sad, we're crying and fucking, she's kissing Araragi, for one last flub. I just love how this whole time she's on Ononoki's shoulders.
It was great. And I love how they led up to the kiss too, where she tells him to turn around to start the bit and shit like that.
Yep.
And then she tells him to close his eyes, I think. Yeah, she tells him to close his eyes, and then she says, "Sorry, I flubbed it," and that's where the kiss starts.
Yeah, it's a
that was absolutely adorable, even though the connotations of this scene are kind of messed up, but
yeah, it was beautiful. And that's it goes a little bit more on top of that, how she talks about how she loved Araragi the whole time.
Yeah,
Which is, it's sad.
It's so fucking sad. Like the end of this arc probably made me cry the most out of everything we've seen in this series. So, because like you really do start to kind of like love Hachikuji as a character, and despite all the little messed up things in their relationship between Araragi and Hachikuji, you start to realize like he was the person who kind of came and helped her find her mom's house, helped her fucking get back on track so she wasn't lost. She's been sticking around the town just to see him.
Yep.
Um, and you come to realize too that like since she was the lost snail, and we kind of touch on it, the only two people who really interact with her for the most part were Hanakawa and Araragi. So that's a lonely existence right there in and amongst itself.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
It
It's
all kind of compacts and compounds in this last couple scenes.
yeah, and especially how she's been, existing for 10 years, just being lost. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's so rough to watch.
It really was. It really was. It never gets easier. Um, so 4 months pass, and Ogi and Aragi are hanging out, and
Fucking Ogie.
they're talking about she made it to the afterlife, and he helped her, and all that mumble jumble, and he's like, telling Ogi, like a story, and Ogi has, work, um, because it's Ogi and we don't know anything about him. Um, Everyone leaves and disappears, and Shinobu even says, that Ogi is probably a something, he's definitely probably not human.
Yeah.
And, keeping, Hachikuji kind of a secret from everybody. He never really did say a proper goodbye, and understandably so. I mean, I don't think everybody needs to know what happened to Hachikuji,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to accept that Hachikuji's gone from this series, so I'm just gonna hope she makes a comeback later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can hope. We can hope.
we will hope.
That's right. So, we get to the next arc, which is I love this arc. I don't even care. And the Hitagi arc, which has the fast love intro.
This intro was so good. The animation, dude, it drove me nuts. I watched it every single time.
Yeah, how it flipped from like 90s animation to modern animation, and then like
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for 90s animation. I think the
yeah,
details were a lot more. There were just more.
yeah,
Like, I don't know what other way to put it.
and I don't know if you noticed this, but like halfway through this arc, like it goes from just Senjo Gahara singing it to Senjo Gahara and Kaiki singing it. There's two versions of it. It's brilliant. This whole arc
It is.
it's so brilliant. So, starts off with, always doubt yourself, lies and truth intertwine.
Yep, our boy Kaiki spitting his Kaiki stuff
Because
for the most part.
Kaiki's best girl,
It's just fucking whatever.
serves them right, he says. He wants the reader to feel could be a lie.
I'm going to tell you about Araragi's and Senjo Gahara's love story.
Yeah,
Just kidding. I may be lying about that too.
dude,
Uh,
this man's a god. He's a god.
I have grown to like Kaiki's character. I didn't like him at first, but after fucking seeing him in
This right here.
Hana and
Yeah.
then this arc,
Yeah.
I've grown to like him.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He really is. He gets a bad rap. It's all about perspective. He might be a piece of shit, but
He's a lovable piece of shit.
he's just hustling to make a living, So it's December 1st, and Kaiki's watching people throw money away. On you, yeah, you know,
Fucking.
they put money into their fucking shrines and everything, wishing for charms, and he's just watching them throw money away in the pursuit of maybes and endless maybes.
I love how he's sitting there too, and he's like giving us reasons as why he be at the shrine. He's like, I might be here for fun, to study people, or wish for health or a good match.
But nah.
No, he's just sitting on a bench.
And so he's chilling, and Senjo Gahara calls him up out of the blue, and she tells him that he needs him to deceive somebody. And as it goes, obviously he plays blind to the whole thing. Because obviously, well, she kind of kicked him out of town, and they go by what is it, Senzio Gahara and Suzuki.
I love how fucking Senjo Gahara's name is just Sensho Gahara.
Yeah, it's just some like thick
It's
Latin
barely
shit.
even a change.
Yeah, and he's Suzuki, and so and he says he's in Okinawa, and so she's gonna head there. Just take a plane trip to Okinawa from mainland.
I'll kill you if you're not there, buddy.
Yeah, she straight up is just like, yeah, if you're not there, I'm gonna kill you. And of course, so now he has to get a plane ticket to Okinawa because clearly he wasn't in fucking Okinawa. And so, he really fucked himself in the ass there. But he knows something's probably clearly wrong if she's hitting him up, because
Yeah.
obviously they don't get along very well.
Nah.
And
Might be the whole con thing or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, it is what it is. So we get to the airport, right? And she calls him. She, like you said earlier, I said a minute ago, she calls him out, for not, probably being there. And so she's got the Mr. Potato Head glasses, right? And
What is the name of that disguise? There's an actual name to it. I can't remember.
It probably 100% is. You're not wrong. I just call them Mr. Potato Head glasses. And she's just like, yeah, I'll be at this cafe. You'll know it's me. Because who knows how many cafes are in an airport, And so, he gets his Hawaiian shirt and glasses. And, spits on her.
And fucking Senjo Gahara just straight fucking loses it. I thought that was the funniest part. Like, he fucking walks in fucking this getup, and she's in the goofiest fucking disguise ever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she just straight fucking loses her shit and starts laughing.
Yeah, yeah. And then
I got this note here, and I don't know what it's about.
What does it say?
It says, I don't want to be stabbed. It's just a quote.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, no. He's just like, he's just like walking up to her, and Kaiki's like, that's showing growth other than your breasts. And, she pulls out a box cutter and threatens to stab him if he backs out.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And, Sengoku is a fool, But she wants to make this clear. She wants to make this clear that Araragi doesn't know anything about this at this point in time. And so she tells him about, obviously the no future murder that Sengoku wants to do, and she'll submit if he says no, but that she should hear, he should hear her out. Kind of, intrigues him at the point, telling him that she's a god. Because, she's like hyping Kaiki up a little bit, going like, you could deceive anybody, right? Like, yeah, I could deceive a little girl. No. This bitch is a god. And then we get the first shirt change
And the mustache change.
and the mustache change. Yep. And so she tells him of the shrine, and realizes that she's a victim after explanation. And this is where things are absolutely hilarious. We get another orange or another shirt change, and she like instantly throws the orange juice in his face, and he goes, "Sorry, she spilled. Can I get one more glass?" As she's literally standing, and the glass is clearly thrown in his direction with her hands. Right? I love that. Sorry,
I love it too. It's so
she
fucking funny.
spilled. Like, okay, she clearly did not spill, but whatever. And so, apologizes, and the fact that, we get back to the conversation and, kind of the fact that, she's putting faith in Kaiki again, even after, he failed, her the first time, I guess, if you want to, call it that, with the whole crab thing. And we get shirt change number 2.
Folks, I'll let you know, eventually we're going to have an in-depth video analyzing shirt and mustache changes throughout these episodes.
Yeah,
just dedicated to that.
I'll do a 20-minute video just about these t-shirts.
So look out for that one.
Yeah, and she's doing her conning, convincing him to take care of a god with reverse psychology. But obviously there's only one thing Kaiki wants.
Money.
Yeah, he wants money. And she offers to down pay 100,000 yen, which is the same thing she paid Meme. And so, Kaiki, being the smart-ass motherfucker he is, says, just go ask Meme then. But obviously, and I love this running gag, the whole fucking series, this whole arc till the end, where she goes, we can't find him. Hanakawa even went, away to look. And she has big boobs. But like, I just love this whole arc, and it'll come up later and we'll talk about it. But just the fact that Kaiki the whole time's like, who the fuck is Hanakawa? Like, this motherfucker's never met her, but everybody just refers to her like he should know her. I love that so much.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. And so, like, she's even like, she'd spare Araragi if had only one choice. And she's like, I'd even sell my body if, I had to, save the man that I love, And freaking, of course, Kaiki throws coffee at her. And, he asks to go to the bathroom. And so...
this whole fucking scene was weird as fuck, dude.
Yeah, and so we get clothes change number 3. And so he contemplates doing it for morals. And he's like, could I do it for Sengoku? Nah, fuck that bitch. Could I do it for Senjogahara? Nah, I couldn't do it for her. Araragi? Nah. Hanakawa? Don't even know the bitch. Nah. And then, like, he just can't find a fucking reason until he thinks about Komaru, obviously. And, the promise with, her mother and shit. And he's like, fuck.
This whole scene is played out with him talking to himself in the bathroom mirror while sitting on a toilet.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, he has definitely not left the bathroom after getting coffee thrown on him, yeah. And so, well, after he's decided this, we get clothes change number 5. He accepts. He takes the look. Senjogahara is actually shocked as shit, And he's like, the 100K that you give me, this will work towards, like, everything, that, is going to need to be needed. Um, and so she kind of fills him in with a little more detail about, March 15th, that's the death day, and, he asks her how she knows that's the day and how, she might not be a sneaky snake. And, you know, and, she's like, it's because of, Sengoku's unreciprocated love and she's a cunt. So
Pretty much the whole theme of this second half of the fucking second series.
yeah, she's just a
Fucking Sengoku's a kunk.
conceited cunt. Yeah. And so obviously she gives Kaiki permission to go, but tells him to be careful because people hate him. Oh, and don't see Araragi. Change number 7. I missed change number 6 somewhere, but we're on change number 7, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And yeah, don't expect everything to, happen overnight, but she's going to check in on him as this process goes. And so obviously they got to take separate flights, right? Because they don't want things getting suspicious when they land. But Senji Ogahara has to borrow money to take the flight back from the 100K she gave him.
And I got a quote here. I'm pretty sure it's actually Senjo Gahara talking about how she doubts that Kaiki can do it. And Kaiki looks at her and he's like, that's how it should be. Doubt, don't trust.
That's right. Goes kind of
That was good.
Goes kind of
Good
with
quote.
yeah, it kind of goes with what he says in the beginning, Always
Yeah.
doubt yourself, lies and truth intertwine.
But the fact too that fucking Senjo Gahara paid him the 100,000 and is like, can I borrow some money to get home?
Yeah.
I fucking died laughing.
I'm gonna need a few thousand yen to get back home, please. Yeah, it's absolutely epic. It's fucking hilarious. And so we get to see like Kaiki's like doodle map he's got going on.
Which pops up a bunch through this arc.
Yeah, I really like the doodle map. It's just like
I do too.
absolutely ridiculous. And so we get to the landing check and everything's Gucci. It's now January 2nd. And the Kaiki theme is bopping. And it's a real bop. I love Kaiki. I love Kaiki's theme. And so he's got a haircut and a trench coat.
Yeah, I noted that he looks kind of normalish here.
Yeah, he's got to fit in like an average jack-off now, He can't be just Kaiki being all vampiric looking and shit.
Yeah, he does give off that vampire vibe.
He does. Or Wolverine, depending on how you look at it with the points,
I mean, yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Right? And so, Senji Ogahara is at Araragi's with her dad for the holidays. Kaiki calls her, and she's kind of just like, what the fuck do you want? I'm kind of busy right now. And he's like, yo, could you give me Sengoku's address? So, he gives her Sengoku's address. And he kind of acts like a person that is a parent to a student that was friends with Sengoku, because obviously he's been missing for a little bit now.
Yep.
And so, the parents think nothing of it because, they're idiots. But, they also know nothing. So, there's that. So, he asked to look in her room, to kind of, like, get some, maybe pictures and, like, things that maybe she's interested in, which is kind of weird, but to help maybe possibly find her. And he's even like asking questions about her, and they're always just like, she never rebelled once. And even Kaiki's like, oh, she's cute, childish, and disgusting. I love that. Like every person that just knows her instantly, except for like the Araragi household. I mean, not necessarily, because even Suki, he kind of hates her to an extent. So I guess she's just Araragi, but pretty much everybody just is like, this girl's just cute, childish, and disgusting.
Pretty much. It's that whole fucking using your cuteness, not acknowledging that you're cute, kind of sort of having everything handed to you, but like fucking still loathing the fact that everything's handed to you because you're cute.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah,
It drives me nuts. And so we
it
get,
really drives me nuts too.
yeah, and there's a lot of people like that nowadays, but we won't get into that too much. And so instantly, the parents tell Kaiki to stay out of the closet. That's the one rule she had in her bedroom. Like, parents just respect that, I guess.
Your kid's missing, but we can't look in the closet.
Yeah. Who knows what's in there, but we can't look. And so
Might have something to do with everything, but we can't look.
that's right. And so Kaiki asks for pictures of her, and he acts as if he knows Hanakawa, but he knows he's never met her. Like, I don't like this whole gag. This whole time is just ridiculous. And yeah, and by the way, he's got the pictures and he's left now.
Yeah.
But no, it's just so funny. He's like, yeah, of course. My motherfucker's never met her. So obviously he's with the phone with Senju Ahara again, and apparently we come to find out that Aragi's been seeing and getting the shit rocked out of him by Sengoku every day still, because thinks he can make a difference.
But only about like every fifth visit. Like it's noted that she doesn't show up all the time when she shows up.
Right, yeah. She's not there every single time as well, because she just kind of, doesn't want to see him. Obviously. And so, Kaiki decides today's the first day we'll go to the shrine. And, he does a nice pray and offers...
Oh, hold on. This is super important. Super important.
What?
He asks if Araragi is going to the shrine tonight to avoid running into him. But Senjo Gahara notes that he is with her tonight, and we get a little bit of a wink wink, nudge nudge, thrust thrust, if you know what I'm saying. They're probably getting busy because it's that New Year's time. They're probably getting busy.
I mean, maybe, but they were at Aragi's house with her father.
Well, I think this is so she like specifically noted that Aragi's spending the night with her that night. So I think this was actually after, because I thought they were back at Senjo Gahara's at this point.
I don't
Because
have
that's what it looked like when she answered the phone.
They might have been at that point. I know it's the same day at least, but it could definitely be at her place at this point after the get together.
But it's important to note that they're getting it on.
We don't know that.
Oh, it's the subtext.
Anyway, yeah. So Kaiki goes there and prays and gives 10,000 yen as an offer in the offer box, and instantly appears, happy that he's the first quote unquote visitor.
She appears in possibly like the cutest way possible too,
Yeah, just shows up
like,
out of nowhere. All
it's me.
Yeah, happy as a fucking flying shit. And at this point, she doesn't even recognize, his name or him. But she's also the type not to remember trivial shit, especially now that she's this god that doesn't fucking give a fuck about anything except for murdering everybody.
I wouldn't really call Kaiki's identity trivial shit, considering that led to her encounter with like the snake apparition.
Technically yes, technically no.
But also, I don't know if it's ever brought up, but did she ever actually even meet or see Kaiki?
No, she does not.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But she would know his name though through the Fire Sisters though.
yeah, that's true.
But she just clearly doesn't remember or care at this point because
Yeah.
murderous intent is, in my opinion, all she cares about at this point.
Yeah, no, I mean, she makes that pretty clear.
Yeah, she's just, talking about killing, casually like it's nothing. And Kaiki even says, he almost sympathizes with her, but,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she even mentions that no one's coming. And, he's like, maybe no one's coming because, no one, if I can even read that word I said, was it services? No one, because she goes straight to sexual. Oh yeah, that's why. Because she doesn't have any services to offer. So of course she goes straight into sexual favors. Which is like
become a god and a slut at the same time.
Double branded. I think a lot of people get behind that religion.
Oh yeah, get behind, on top of, and in and around that religion.
That's right. And then she even mentions how Araragi was happy when she was wearing no top and bloomers.
Yeah.
Which Kaiki clearly questions right off the bat, is that right?
I mean, who wouldn't question that at that point?
That's valid. And so, she's just like, I love him so much that I have to totally kill him.
Yeah.
And that she no longer wants humanity and doesn't care if he doesn't love her.
And she wouldn't even go back to being human if she could be with him.
Right. Yeah. So she's past help at this point. And so if I remember correctly, she tries to hug Kaiki. And he refuses the hug. And explains that it's too creepy. And that's probably why everyone leaves.
Oh, shots fired, Kaiki. Shots fired.
He's just being honest, Mr. Trenchcoat, haircut man, But, Kaiki leaves, but gives her his cat's cradle string to keep her busy until the next time he visits. And, she's like, you sure you promise you're coming back? And he says, I've never told a lie.
Fucking Kaiki. Every time that popped up, dude, I was fucking cracking up. I was like, dude, all you fucking do is lie and tell half truths.
He's never told a lie in his life. So.
Never ever.
Yeah, never ever. I don't think so. And so instantly the next episode hits. And Kaiki calls. And, they need to talk in person. So let me see what else we got here right after that. So Senjo Gahara even says, that they should. So oh my god, so I'm gonna read this quote here. It's not.
Yeah, this is where I sadly stopped taking notes, so you're gonna be taking the full lead on this one.
That's fair. So they get together, and I got the quote that it's not a bad thing to have a spoiled brat know her place.
That's fair.
And he even says like that she didn't recognize him, and it's all clear. Everything's Gucci, and he's like literally throwing shade. And I did want to note that they are meeting at Mr. Donut.
Yeah, I
Because
noticed that too.
Mr. Donut's the place to be. In case you're
It's the
wondering.
hop, the happening hopping place with the
Yeah,
gold flaked donuts.
that's right. And so, he keeps on the jacket as a disguise. Because we want him, any kids to notice us. And she tells him that she still won't tell Aragi. Thinks that he'll misunderstand the whole thing. Um, which the longer you drag this, obviously there's gonna be more of a misunderstanding. But what do I know about anything? And you know, he tells her about his first meeting, with Sengoku, and her lack of trust. But she has too much sympathy, saying, it's gonna be easy to trick her. I'm just gonna, keep going to earn her trust, and then, eventually, I'll say that you two got in an accident, and everything will be Gucci because you'll be dead and she'll trust me. And so, like, you know, because she has no reason not to believe him if he's come up all these times, give all this money. What would he be lying about? But he does mention though, if he does fail, he's definitely dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like even he
I mean
knows
he's
that.
he's taken out a god at this point, so
Right? Yeah. So he even knows. He's like, if I fuck this up, I'm absolutely dead. Like, so you know that's all said and done, and finally, with that reassurance of Kai, I really enjoy this scene too. With Kaiki reassuring her that he can do it. She finally eats some food because she hasn't like eaten this whole time, um, at all. Even in the last
yeah,
scene, and it was one of those things where it's a me or Sengoku type of scenario that he proposes, and she asks for to give a minute, and she goes to the bathroom, and obviously she cries, because no poor
I mean
no poor like 17, 18-year-old girl should have to deal with the fact knowing that some chick that likes your boyfriend is out to like literally murder you, him, and everybody. um
yeah, that moment where that stress gets pulled off, it's a fucking impactful moment.
yeah,
Especially how fucking she comes back out of the bathroom and Kaiki notices immediately that she's been kind of crying and shit.
yeah, she's got the puffy eyes and all of the symptoms of just bawling her eyes out, and like, yeah, it's a really deep moment, and she thanks him, you know which you never would have seen that coming. And so that scene kind of ends, and you know he goes to the bookstore and learns some more cat's cradle maneuvers to teach her. But he realizes he only has enough yen left for 5 visits if he keeps donating 10K each fucking visit. So we run into Ononoki outside the bookstore, or we get the piece. Hey,
That part was so fucking goofy.
Oni-chan,
Oh god.
peace.
And then fucking at this point, no, I think that was Araragi that knows about her personality change, or was it?
No, that's Araragi. But Kaiki's not pleased with it. Kaiki quite hates her mannerisms. And she tells him that he's here to help, or she's here to help. And Gain kind of just sent her, but he doesn't want to hear pretty much anything from Gain. But Gain doesn't want him to do it. She wants him to pull out. And I even got. Oh man, my throat's drying out. I'm drinking beer. How is that possible?
It's super dry beer though.
That's true. It's Asahi, super dry beer. Um, so he's insulted. I have a quoted here. Insulted me by saying I'm like Araragi. God damn
That's
it!
fair.
Right, right. And so Ononoki wants him to buy her something. So he buys her like a super duper chocolate chip scone or something like that. Just some fucking way bizarre chocolate scone. And so they get down to the nitty gritty. The fact that Guyan has offered 3 million yen to pull out of this, because she knows that if he fails, it's not going to be any good. Huh. We also find out that Guyan was actually planning on making Shinobu the god of the area, and that if he doesn't pull out, Guyan's going to disown Kaiki. And so, he's like, yeah, I'll pull out. Just give me the money. And so he pulls out with no intention of pulling out. But, he's kind of...
God,
He's,
Kaiki.
yeah. I mean, obviously, Guy knows everything that was going to happen because she knows everything. But, he's relieved Guy is gone. She's just kind of a thorn in everything, realistically. And so we go back to the shrine, and he does this time. He does a pretty big worship, and wishes for a prosperous business. Whatever that means. And so,
I mean, in his business, it could mean anything at this point.
right. With Kaiki, I mean, it could mean fucking anything. And
Well,
so,
it's like, even if you really think about how funny this is, if he's saying, I wish for prosperous business, his business right now is to deceive this girl. So essentially, he's wishing for
her to
him to
destroy
be
it.
prosperous in the fact that he is in his deceit.
Right. It's just totally fucking ironic, really.
It's
And
fucking hilarious.
it's absolutely hilarious. And, like, he asks her, about her string, and she's like, oh, yeah, I ruined that, like, the first day.
Then pulls the fucking snakes out.
Yeah.
The Ouroboros.
Yeah, so she's got the fucking snake, yeah, and it's like, oh, that's kind of fucking gross. Like, yuck.
I mean,
So,
it's a thing. I wonder where that snake came from, though.
that's a great question. Definitely not her head.
It's a pube.
It's a pube, that's what it is. You're right. And so that scene kind of comes to an end, and he's kind of leaving, and he feels watched at this point. And so he kind of goes, it's nighttime, by the way, and he kind of goes to Sengoku's place and sneaks in. And he kind of, if I remember correctly, calls the parents away with some distraction to get them out of the house. And then he sneaks into the house, and he takes this coin out of his back pocket and takes that stupid little chintzy door, like basic door lock, and unflicks it and breaks into the closet. And, like, that's the end of the episode for that one.
I love how there's no elaboration on this, just a surprise on fucking Kaiki's face.
Yeah, he's just like, huh? And, like, that's it. Like, it's like, oh, we'll tell you later.
And we've been waiting to figure out what was in this closet since the first fucking series.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're dicking us around at this point.
Absolutely. Well, that's the point of this show, just to dick you around a little bit. In every way
Honestly,
possible.
I'm starting to see that.
Yeah. So we get to the next episode, and he's kind of sitting in his hotel, which looks like a nice hotel, by the way. And he gets a letter that says "pull out" underneath, like in his like entryway door.
And no man ever wants that letter.
No, definitely not. And he doesn't know who did it. And may I add, this is the very first episode Kaiki sings the intro to. So he calls Senjogahara, and he's like, and she goes, "I'm wearing blue lingerie," pretending to be fucking sleeping.
Oh my god, Senjogahara is a piece of work.
Yeah, and he's like, "Clearly, I know you're not fucking sleeping." Like, and she asks if anybody's gotten in the way at all, and he tells her about Guyan and tells about um gosh, why am I fucking having trouble
The
saying?
letter?
Yeah, about the letter, and how how she's like afraid that she'll freak if he fails, if Kaiki fails, and Senjogahara will freak, or not Senjogahara, Sengoku will freak out. And but he doesn't tell the truth about the money that he acquires from Guyan, but that is what it is.
He didn't lie about it though.
Yeah.
Never tells a lie.
He never tells a lie. But yeah, we still can't figure out the note. But Senjogahara explains that maybe someone just slid it under your door, and that that wasn't necessarily somebody breaking into your room. And even like, I can't remember if it's him or her, mentioning even that maybe someone overheard one of their conversations while they were talking. And like, I wrote down what's that?
Is this a sequence too where if you watch the backdrop out the window, it's all just advertisements involving Senjogahara?
Yeah. Yeah,
Ah, that was fucking cool.
yeah, and at the same time, like, the floor is moving everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, this fucking scene was just visually amazing.
yeah, this whole arc is really trippy visually. And
I would agree.
and like, so like, Senjogahara asked to like see the letter so she maybe could possibly make out characteristics about it. But Kaiki even like already admits that he already flushed it down the toilet. Because he's Mr. Paranoia, understandably. And he's just like, why don't you just go make out with Araragi or something? And she's just like, asked if he was jealous, and he just hangs up on her.
For Senjogahara trying to, throughout this whole thing, push away from the fact that she was romantically involved with Kaiki, or at least the lie that he told Araragi. She really does fuck with him a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know if that's like her sneaky little way of trying to get back at him.
Oh, I absolutely think it is completely.
I'm starting to think so too, because I'm starting to think like I'm sure I don't think it'll be answered, but I'm starting to think that whole romantically involved thing that Kaiki had told Araragi was kind of sort of what Kaiki wanted from that situation. But it never happened, and fucking Senjogahara is essentially rubbing it in Kaiki's face.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how I picture it too. And yeah, even like, she even mentions him not to go daily, because the whole Araragi thing again, but he says, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, he's got such a good disguise. Araragi will never recognize him.
Nobody would. And so now it's January 4th. And, this time, Kaiki buys her sake. And boy, is she ecstatic, and even donates 20,000 this time. And she goes, I won't give it back even if it was a mistake, but thank you.
What a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, oh, you little shithead. And we come to find out that she really likes sake, and she kind of it wasn't really important. I didn't write it down, but I remember, how she talks about she used to have her dad's beer, but like that was it, and she wants to know the difference between sake and beer, and it's like you've got sake, just fucking drink it and find out.
Yeah.
So, so that visit's pretty quick, and Kaiki's coming down to the bottom of the steps, and finally, for the first time in this man's life, he sees Hanakawa. For the first time ever. And they take a taxi.
And her big old titties.
And her big old titties. And, he's kind of like, pretty much along the lines of, I thought you were supposed to be out of town, And she's like, kind of like, well, I was, and then I'm kind of came back, and I've kind of lied to Senjo Gahara and Araragi, and I couldn't find Meme, and, she begs him to save, Senjo Gahara, and, invites him to her room, or he invites her to his room, not the other way around, to talk. Just kind of talk everything out, and make sure they're on the same page, and it's info exchange time.
Don't they actually end up going back to Hanakawa's room?
That might be it, because I remember either one of them. Yeah, you're right, because she has the cheaper hotel, and she's like, well, it's not probably as nice as yours.
Isn't it subtly cat themed too? If I remember correctly.
It is. Absolutely. Yeah. And so they go back to his place, so they're going to exchange some info, and obviously Hanakawa's got her purple white hair, and we haven't seen her for a while. Well, timeline-wise, at least. So, we get to the next episode, and Hanakawa's kind of giving him the rundown, and, thinks that the town drew Shinobu, and not Shinobu drew, everything to the town. Kind of, her perspective on the whole situation. Which, is a fair perspective, especially being a know-it-all.
Well, she doesn't know everything. She just knows what she knows.
Right, and that's why Daddy smacked her. So
fucked.
So even Hanakawa instantly on Sengoku instantly thought she was a snob. And that's coming from, somebody that tries to see the better of everybody. So there's that. She even says, words never reached her, But Hanakawa admits, she doesn't really want anybody to know. She's there because she wants to wander off after school. And, what's just coming around the corner. And, asked about, the Oshino family, asked if he had any nieces or anything. Because she asked about Ogi. And, obviously, Kaiki's like, no, Mei's literally a loner. He has no family.
Yeah.
And so we talk about the closet. And, he says he didn't look in her closet. But
he never tells a lie, though.
But he doesn't lie, but he says he did not. And then
no lies there.
Absolutely no lies. And so, not much happened. They visit after, the visit. They play, this next visit, is what I should say, because I got that mixed up in my lines. I need to get better at marking that. But so that's pretty much the end of the visit with Hanakawa and him. And so he goes to the next day to go visit Sengoku. Um, and they play games, and now she loves sake. She's addicted now.
She,
She's a little alcoholic.
he's been feeding her sake every visit.
Yeah, there's bottles everywhere. It kind of looks like my room.
Fair enough. It's kind of like mine too.
Yeah, it's all Gucci, and so
It's not a problem
yeah,
unless
no,
someone makes it a problem.
right, and so after that, he kind of visits the cram school, and Numachi was there. Dot dot dot. February 1st, D-Day.
Day.
This is the day that Kaiki plans on dropping the bomb. And, it's funny because Senjugahara calls him and he tells her that. And she kind of admits that she's going to miss his phone calls.
Yeah.
Or just kind of weird, but at the same time, you kind of get it because she's kind of saving his life, redeeming himself. But, obviously he says he's doing it mostly for, guying. But I think he's doing it just to be a good person, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah. He's a character. He's really hard to read at most points.
Yeah, he is, and I love that about his character, though. It leaves he's like a wild card,
He's Charlie.
Yeah.
He's the Charlie.
I cut the brakes.
Wild card.
And so, yeah, so he tells her, make sure Araragi doesn't come and fuck it up today, would you? And so he gets there, and so I think he's asking, if I remember correctly, because I got this a little strange in my notes and it sucks. But he asked about pretty much like, what does she like about Araragi? And everything. No matter what, she'll hold a grudge. Because that bitch is nuts.
She is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, right? And so I think, if I remember correctly, before he gets there, we run into Ananoki one more time. And, she thought he'd pull out, and, at the end, and she's surprised. And they talk about, how he crushed church. Oh yeah, they talk about how he crushed the church that Senjogahara's mom was in, for like nothing, like so like at one point you could think he's a shitty person for doing some things, but at the other end he also usually still does something decent.
Yeah.
Like sure, he didn't exactly fix Senjogahara's problem at the first time, but he also like helped take her mother away from the church, if that makes, you know what I mean? Like it's like a double-edged sword almost.
It makes sense. Like he's looking out for himself and he wants to be seen as that person who's looking out for himself, but at the same time he does do these selfless actions out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah. And like I think I even have it quoted here with is there anyone out there who knows what they're doing? She has faith, but God, Madison rubs how he always fails. But God, why do I have such terrible handwriting? Yeah. So, anyways, Mom crumbled, but Senjogahara held on. How? Who knows? So we get to the shrine finally. After learning about Kaiki not being a complete piece of shit. But he never lies.
Never ever.
And she wants Kaiki to make a wish, but if he does, it won't come true. So he reverses it on her with her wish and says, they, our boy, Araragi and Sencho Gahara kind of died in a car accident. And instantly, it doesn't even matter. Sengoku's like, Kaiki-san, you're going to deceive me as well?
This kind of threw me for a loop because I, for some reason, thought that Kaiki was actually gonna pull it off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, but all of a sudden she's like, you're lying, dude. Why are you fucking lying to me like everyone else?
Why are you always lying? So, so she sees right through him. And, like, within seconds, there's, like, literally snakes fucking everywhere. And, like...
This part was so trippy, dude. Like...
Yeah, dude, and, like, her dress even turns red. And, like, she's clearly really mad about his lies. And, like... She plays, like, the card backwards about, I hate being a cute brat, but who else is she? Literally nothing but a fucking doll. And, like, is it Ogi's fault? Is that what edged her to be a god? Like, it's just like this whole convoluted scene, and there's just, like you said, it's trippy as shit because there's so, like, thousands upon thousands of snakes trapping Kaiki, and he's like getting his ass like suffocated. Like, it's brutal.
And fucking at the same time trying to figure out fucking ways to just get through to her.
Yeah, like he even like says like, Araragi's at fault, But she still just wants to kill everybody, which is like, okay, well what's that gonna do? But like then Kaiki pulls out his fucking trump card and says, "So why would you want to give that all up when you want to be a manga artist, don't you?"
You looked, didn't you? You looked. No one was ever supposed to look.
Yeah.
We figure out what was in the closet.
Yeah, dude. Like, it goes black. It goes like back to white, and like, like I said, she freaks out, and she's like literally fist beating the shit out of Kaiki. She's like kicking him in the ribs and shit, and fucking just beating the piss out of him, and like. Yeah, of course he peaked.
I'd like to note, like, how durable is this motherfucker? Because, like, she took on 2 fucking pseudo vampires with no fucking problem and damn near killed him each time. But Kaiki's just getting the shit beat out of him and fucking surviving while being also suffocated by fucking snakes.
Kaiki's the goat.
I'm starting to see that.
And like, and the nice thing is, you do genuinely get to see that, even like whether he means it or not, he is actually encouraging her.
Yeah.
He's like, you could be a really good manga artist. Like,
your drawings were really good.
Yeah, you could, like, oh my gosh. Let me see what I got here. Oh, kills. He even says, like, someday your parents were gonna look anyways. Like, why not?
Your secret was gonna come out.
Yeah,
why not it be to me?
Yeah, right. Why not be Kaiki? Why not become the mangaka? Even if you think it's trash, like, you gotta be a human to do it. You can't be a god to be a mangaka, but you can become the god of all mangakas.
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, right. And he's like, "Is your only purpose in life just to date Araragi? Like, how sad." But he's like, "You can change your dream when you're a human. You know, you can redo as much as you want. You know, you could take
That's the
money. Right?
beautiful thing about being human.
Yeah, you can change what you want. You know, it's awesome. But you can't do that when you're a god. You got responsibilities and shit." And he's like, "Look, just take the money I've given you in the offering box, buy fucking tools. You know, get good."
Get good, noob.
Perry.
Stop drawing on notebook paper and buy sketch pads, you dumb bitch.
Right, right. And she's, she gets rid of the snakes and she's, like, "I'll let you deceive me." And then, of course, Araragi shows up right when Kaiki's got everything under control. Here comes Araragi, and Kaiki's just getting ready to remove the talisman, right? And of course, Aragi's freaking out. And he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And it's like, "Dude, calm the fuck down for 5 seconds, please.
You're not the hero of this arc. Go fuck off for a little bit.
It's me now. It's Kaiki time."
It's the goat.
And even like explains to Aragi everything he's fucking doing, which I can understand kind of why Aragi doesn't trust him, but like he just puts the slug tofu in her, which sounds just fucking disgusting. And like he even tells him like, "Gain sent me to do this," which is already again a lie. But he never lies. He told her like it was, That's reality. That's how we did it. So, you know, he tries to play the hero, and that's just Kaiki. I think Kaiki deserved it. But,
Yeah.
But the seal's gone now, and he gives it to Araragi, and instantly he's just like, "I shouldn't be here. I should leave town. Senjogahara will be pissed." Yeah, and then he pretty much just gives him, Sengoku has just been like exercised of a talisman and everything, and he's just like, "Take her home and forget about her. She's
Don't ever fucking show your face to her again. That's the way you can help her.
Yeah, because like she'll be useless if you're around. Like don't ever fucking associate yourself with her." And I feel like
Which I mean is fair.
right, no, he's 100% right. I mean, like, until she gets older or something, until she matures more, there's no point of being in her life. It's just not going to get any better.
Yeah.
And so, Kaiki calls Senjogahara and lets her know everything's Gucci. And, she asked if he thought, that she liked him. And obviously, like you said earlier, she was deceiving him. And he almost has this sad look on his face about the whole thing, too. It's absolutely like, oh. And we come to realize that Senjogahara clearly was the one that put the note under the door to try to push Kaiki to go further, because Kaiki's one of those people that, doesn't do what he's told. He's a badass.
And then we kind of get this moment of fucking Kaiki having the realization that Gain did the exact same thing to him.
Yeah.
He was essentially everyone's pawn at this point, thinking he was doing his own thing.
Yeah, and for once, he was the pawn instead of the other way around. Kaiki got Kaiki'd. Rightness Kaiki.
Oh, that's a good kiking right there.
Thank you. And then right after that, he crushes his cell phone instantly. He's just like, "Nah, I'm done with this bitch."
Or done, breaks the SIM card.
Yeah, but at the same time, where's Oshino Meme? Like, everybody's just like, "Where's Meme?" I don't know yet. And then, Kaiki gets what Senjo Gahara called back earlier, and a kid um, that was affected by the loose snake that was released from Sengoku comes and beats the shit out of Kaiki.
And like for those, so having watched Hana Monogatari, I'm gonna say the full thing every fucking time because it's way
Yeah.
too much fun. But we realized that Kaiki's not dead, but like I could see if you didn't see that part of the series beforehand, dude looks like he's on fucking death's door laying there bleeding out in the snow.
Yeah, because blood's just pouring out of his forehead, and the camera gets covered in red, and it's just like, oh,
And I
yeah,
think he even like notes that he's like, I'm done for.
yeah, like he thinks he's gonna die, but
We
obviously,
know he doesn't. He
right?
grows a goatee.
Yeah, he becomes a badass.
Fucking he does kind of look like a badass with the goatee, man. But
And so yeah, that was our. This was a longer one. It was a little tougher, but we got.
there was so much going on.
That's just it. It's
So much.
a very convoluted arc, 2 arcs, and yeah. So I really enjoyed this. I guess on a scale, how did you feel about the second half as a rating?
Um. So I think I'd put it at a 9. Again, I'm gonna probably peg a lot of these visually as a 10.
Yeah.
But story wise, I'd put it at like a 9 again. You know, some of it's a little hard to follow. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys. So, what this was like 11, 12 episodes or something like that? 10 episodes?
Yep.
10 episodes at a half hour each. It took me probably about 10 hours to watch it all with all the pausing and rewinding back to see what happened. And
Right, and like I say,
yeah.
like I always remember key points, like 100% key points, because my 6th time going through it. But like the minuscule details, even for being somebody that's watched it so many times, I have to write it down. And even sometimes my notes are so messy that I even have a little bit of troubles because there's so much to this series, you know. And that's the beauty of it and the beast of it, you know.
Yeah, because again, it shouldn't take me 10 hours to watch 10 half-hour episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I sat in front of my computer all fucking day for this one, guys. Like,
Yeah. So
it's beautiful, though. It's beautiful.
right, and I have to agree with you. I give this one a 9 as well. I definitely love this whole second series, and it's just a great trip and a great ride. And overall, definitely one of my favorites. Not my we're getting to my favorite arc, but not quite yet, or my favorite series. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Chugga chugga choo choo. But
Yeah, I'm still gonna put Tsubasa's the fucking her
the,
tiger arc as
the
my favorite to this point.
the first arc to part 1 of this season.
Yeah, I don't know, something about her growth overall as a character during that, just like it was amazing finding out more things about Kaiki and all that other sort of shenanigans going on. Seeing how much Senjo Gahara cares for Araragi, because you really get that cemented in this arc. But there's something about Tsubasa's fucking Hanakawa's growth through that first arc.
Yeah, I totally get that completely. It's definitely like I said, it's really hard to just like divide it. But I think generally overall, the second series is like a 9 out of 10. But
Yeah, it really is.
it's great. It's not perfect, but it's great. Highly recommend. Give it a watch.
And watch it while you're drinking Rip Its Energy.
Rip it energy, baby. Drink it.
And again, with all the questionable themes, turn on your NordVPN.
Yeah, maybe do that, or just buy it on Blu-ray.
Fair enough. But when you're buying it on Blu-ray, you're probably gonna have to buy it online. So use NordVPN and a PO box.
I guess
Nah.
I went about this the wrong way when I bought it.
You're on the watch list now, bud.
Oh, that's probably the least of it. But anyways, with that being said, I guess we'll see all y'all in the next week's video for Suki.
Suki.
All right, this has been Squids.
And the Doki Doki Etchy Man.
We will see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.